Hi, I'm Nick Ball. It's the 2nd of July 2024, and this is a very, one, I haven't made a video for quite a while. I'm used to audio recordings. Two, the software I'm using is from 2016 or something. May even be earlier than that. I can't even go back and edit, so I'm just going to try my best because I've done this a few times, and so far I've had to go back to the beginning each time and start again. And this way I'm not going to get anything achieved. And this is on my list of tasks. Here we see the task list for this time slot. So as bad as it is, or as unprofessional as it is, I'm just gonna muddle my way through. I'm used to doing the audio recordings, which I can sort of go back and forwards with. I don't have that option here. This is just one live take. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at the Q planner and the daily planner. The daily planner lists the tasks completed or the tasks coming up. I'm actually working at the moment in a different mode, which is an experiment where everything is CYP. I should just put that in here. CYP. And that's basically choose your projects. That will come from a project list that I will put here to the left, but we can leave that for another day. I'm going to show you how I scored this and how yesterday went, as yesterday was the day I created this new Q planner. Okay, so started at 7 o'clock, re-indexed all the 2012 and 2018, or 20.18. What was I doing? Yeah. Re-indexed all the relevant documents. You see, I haven't even written it correctly for my own memory. But the thing is, if you see these bullseyes, that's for a on-task result. It's not a collaborative sharing result. I'm not saying this is worth sharing, but I have done the thing that I set out to do, regardless of how well I did it. And you can see actually I did it well because I've given myself 4 of them. Each one of those is worth 25 points. And we can see throughout the day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll drop that in here. This would be automatically scored in the app. 10 times 25 points plus. Oops, doesn't like me having the plus at the end. Okay, so what carried on, same thing for 9:30 till about 10:30. Then I had a rest and listened to OKR Q3 2024 and added that to 20.12U. 20.12U is a document. Okay, best T. Okay, yeah, this is the document. And all I need to do to find that document is take a part of the name, drop it into the search, and the document comes straight away. Or I can look at the research index for that ID, 20.12U. Continuing, at this point something happened that really isn't worth sharing, but it was better than nothing. And actually this is the spreadsheet you're seeing right now. Next, and sorry, that's worth, you see that emoji there, the explosion, that's worth 35 points. A while ago, this was worth 25, and these on targets were worth 35. But there was no incentivization to do better than just turn up, so I swapped them around. I'm often swapping around things, trying to work out the best way to keep myself motivated and in general to score enough key results to hit the milestone objectives and then hit a proper objective. Carrying on throughout the day, here we see the first item I did that was worth sharing, and you can see there's a Planck space rocket there, the little Planck sign and the space rocket, that's worth 100 points. What did I do? Create the Q3 Q Planner tab with Q1 and Q2 info below. Well, this is making this. And when I'm saying about the Q1 and Q2 info below, this is, let me just show you that. If we go down, we can see the first and second quarters. It goes along. And you can see here is a point when I wasn't scoring, or I wasn't adding the scores to. Here's where it was done perfectly. Here we've got great information hiding, because each of these is taken from the best key result from here. Let's do that now so we can see it. So, well, it's a Planck space rocket, and it is relevant to OKR DevOps. I'm on last quarter's. This is this quarter's. I was like, what? Okay, so we add that Planck space rocket there. Don't know why the color's not come out. Okay. Obviously I need to do that and center it. Now all of this would be done automatically. What I do next is find out, write down the task so we can see what that applies to. Now normally this would be a document, but or an audio recording or something that I could share. That actually needs to be centered. Sorry, left aligned. My mistake. And then I've got to sort of move it like that so you don't see it. But when one wants to go back through this category and put a space there, there we go. Information is hidden. When one wants to go back through this particular category, one can go through the entire year or the last few weeks sharing. This would be a collaborative spread created into the TBS-CC OKR DevOps software, and in fact the entire TBS-CC OKR software. So we've got the information hidden. You can't see it in the video, but it's actually shown just above in the toolbar that shows this line. That wasn't clever thinking for a display, Nick. But anyway, it is available to be shared. I'm going to carry on. So there's that Planck space rocket, and there's another one at the bottom. Each are 100, so let's add that to the score. But first, I want to put those explosions in. How many explosions do we see? 1, 2, 3. 3 explosions, 35 each. So I just plus 35 times 3. Next to the on fire, I'm going to do all the scoring now, and then we'll go through and copy the best bits to the Q Planner. Okay, so we've got to do the on fires. There were 50, and that's, you know, that's pretty good. It's not necessarily something I would put on the Q Planner, but when I'm looking over it myself, looking back, I can say, oh, okay. Of course, all of this would be done automatically on the software, so it'd be a lot easier. And therefore, those on fires would appear. Okay, but for now, let's continue the scoring. So, how many on fires did we see? We see one there, two, three. Three on fires, 50 points each. So that's plus 50 points times 3. Then we've got this tornado. I think it's a tornado or whirlwind emoji. That's worth 75. Then we come to the Planck space rockets, of which I can see 2. So 2 times 100. Whereafter, what else have we got? We've got a finishing flag for something, an objective reached, or a milestone objective reach, plus 333. If you want to see what the scores are worth, we go to this emojis and scores. And on the left, these are the ones I use all the time. These are the ones that I'm just playing around with for ideas for the DevOps version. Different emojis for different types of... And these come from David Farley's book, Modern Software Engineering. I'm yet to add ones that I get from Nicole Frosgan's book, Accelerate. Not her book, Jez Humble and Gene Kim's book. Okay, going back to the Q planner, no, back to the daily planner. Now that I've added the score, let's add anything else to the Q planner that is, that is significant. Let's see. Met with Janice Baker for a finishing flag. Janice Baker is my local representative for the Green Party, and somebody who would be most likely very impressed with my 2020 book, 64 Reasons Why. All of this is on the podcast, and if you can see here, all these StarDF 60 to, well, 16 to, sorry, StarDF 50 to 53 are all different episodes of the podcast. But okay, so we've got a spelling mistake here. Just correct that. Okay, so the Green Party political. So we put a finishing flag in there. Add to that. This one you see got the ID reference for the audio recording, the audio file, and I'm actually sorry, I'm doing it in the field you can't actually see. Just putting a bit of a space, copying in, and there we go. If I just move that into the middle in this very rudimentary way, put that a little bit over there, and then with the oops, we've jumped down. Okay, just need to put a return in there, or is it a space? Yeah, backspace will do, and that hides the information. Okay, so back to the daily planner. Anything else here I want to share? An app is a CMS with APIs. Yep, that is worth sharing. That's StarDF 55. I'm just going to take the emoji first of all. StarDF 55, add it here. Go back, grab the description of why it was scored, including the reference so as one can find the file. Sorry, I'm again doing this in the field you can't see. I'll remember not to do that next time. Okay, that is now hidden. Lastly came the last Planck space rocket, and this was another StarDF 55, Python and Django. Django. That was the decision. Well, GPT's assistance to we will be making the website version in Python, not PHP, because it works a lot better with AI and APIs. Sorry, this is for the Sienna, the TBS S-World 6VC AI Sienna CMS. But let's just complete the task. Don't get sidetracked. Okay, that's there. And that's yesterday complete. And as we go throughout the week, this column here will be added to, or should be added to. This would all happen automatically on the software. And the idea, again, is one can simply, if one's looking for DevOps, so let's go down to last quarter and the quarter befores and see where, have I done this in the wrong place? Yes, I have. Let's just grab that then. Put it in the right place. Oops. Pull this out. There we go. Space. Space. Rightio. Now that I've done that, let's go through the categories. Or, yeah. Okay, so complete StarDF podcast, the podcast for David Farley. Next category. And note, every key result that we see here actually assists every other category. It's one of the magics. It's why it's kind of like quantum theory, because instead of 1 plus 1 plus 1, like bits, one key result affects every other category. And I'll do a little test of that, a little game at some other point. For now, I'm just going to go through the categories. Okay, so next category, next milestone key result. Well, it's actually been completed, has it? Well, I'll probably add to it, is the StarDF 50 to 53, which is where I advise everybody to start the the podcast, the Spotify podcast. It's currently on, albeit nobody knows it's there, so it's hidden, but not hidden. This episode is already created, but I will add to it. It's the altruistic intro describing T8, which would be of interest to the Green Party. Technology 8 is net zero, DCA, dynamic comparative advantage. And that leads into the T2QA, the Quanta Analytica, which essentially uses these emojis to give everybody a score. And as and when the software is completed, these 25% of the money that would go to S-World, that's all the money the company makes, goes into a royalty collection, like the Performing Copyright Society for paying musicians royalties for their songs. 25% of all the money that the systems will make in the future will be paid in perpetuity to the people who made the systems in the first place. Therefore, highly encouraging people to fill this out, otherwise they don't get their royalties. This was the first piece of software I thought we needed to create, but actually right now, seeing as we're only looking for a small team, and a legal agreement is all that's necessary. That and the episode that I've created. Okay, next is the StarDF 54, this very episode that we're creating now. The TBS-CC OKR DevOps. It says for John Doerr, but it's actually for David Farley, Jez Humble, Nicole Gonna get it wrong. Forsgren, Nicole Forsgren. Sorry, I sometimes get the second name wrong. I got it right so many times in a row, and then I fumbled on the live recording. Anyway, also for Gene Kim, but in terms of investment for John Doerr, um, he taught me OKRs in the first place. More of this on the podcast. Next category that I've created is Remake SWeb 5, 5.1 and 5.2 for apps and websites. And that's, we heard one of those results there. That was given for the app. An app is a CMS with APIs. Very simplistic view of apps. The next category, T2 CRM Nudge AI, followed by next category, StarDF 57, all comms, followed by StarDF 58, the swapping menus function. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of technology we need to create the SWeb 6 VC, that's voice command, Sienna AI CMS, in terms of the advert that we're going to try and use to get from initial investment to Series B and C, significant investment. Okay, StarDF 59 is the next category, or the next milestone key result. So that's the presentation of SWeb 6VC AI CMS. It's a summary, basically, of the 4 categories above for David Farley and Innovate UK. StarDF 60, the macro technologies for Virgin, Elon Musk, and Gene Kim. That's already been started. StarDF 51, S-World HEAI, that's the name of the company, S-World HEAI Limited UK. HEAI is Human Economic AI for Nicole Forsgren, Microsoft and the Gates Foundation. StarDF 62, T10T, that's the 10 technologies for Jez Humble and Google. Just by the way, about the 10 technologies, SWeb 6 VC uses technologies 1, SWeb, 2, the TBS-CC, 3, networks distribution, that's the swapping menus function, plus elements from technology 6, SWOD UCS, the gamification of the network. Getting back to StarDF 62, T10T for Jez Humble and Google, followed by StarDF 63, T10T for Peter Thiel, Meta and Airbnb. This is followed by a category for System Admin, IT. This is followed by a category for work that I do with Blaze on SWeb 5.1 development. We're currently APIing it to a villa rental company in Cape Town. Next category is political and government. You saw how I added the finishing flag there for making contact, or actually joining the party and waiting for Janet to contact me. And we met briefly, and she now wants to discuss various things. So that's why there's a finishing flag there. It's the beginning of the next stage. Okay, in red we see the GMC story for Lee Day. That's legal. Then we've got the yellow, which is sort of screenplay and music. First of all, the screenplay, the way back, then documentary and the press. Then we've got a category or a on-target milestone key result for music and podcasts, Ableton software and Descript. Descript I started using just a few days ago. Then we've got videos and SWeb ad demo, Descript or Adobe Premiere. 2 for medical, 1 in purple for Cape Villas, 1 in purple for Villa Secrets, and 1 at the very end for Sienna's angel birthday. Okay, that's the, let's have a look to the right. Okay, so this is this week, and 2 tasks are priority for this week, and that is to complete the audio recordings for StarDF 54 and StarDF 55. Next week, we can see I intend to create the audio recordings for the CRM Nudge AI, all comms, and the swapping menus function. These are all about, an hour to 2 hours long and include, nowadays, the recent ones, include sections from Descript where I get Descript to read out in different voices so I can get a fluid script. The week afterwards, there's nothing in there because it's a catch-up week. And from this point onwards, usually, well, previously, I would have put in the main objectives for quite a few weeks going forward, sometimes for an entire quarter. However, in a more not waterfall manner, sorry, let's just slide back up to the top. In a non-waterfall manner, I'm experimenting with CYP, choose your project. So I'm not going to give myself a rigid set of milestone key results. I'm going to choose whatever I want to do as and when I want to do it, albeit guided by these milestone key result categories. As long as I get points on the board in any one of these categories this quarter, I'll progress. And if this quarter turns out to be the best quarter I've done, better than the quarter at the end of 2022, then we'll know this technique is a winner. Okay, let's just quickly go back to the daily planner. We've seen what I did yesterday, and we can see at the bottom there's the add days review here, Q Planner Day 3 2024 and Quantum Q OKR DevOps. Actually, that was from the day before, so this should be just as so. Okay, so we move on to today. Today is Descript Day. I've already got myself an on target here, and I've been going throughout the day up until this point. And as and when I complete the rest of the day, I'll put it in. We can see in the future there are a few things that I've put in. 64 Reasons Why is a reprint of the magazine or the book. I've got to ask Richard for the API docs, etc., etc. But in general, I've got a very clear schedule. And if we look at these, other than those two tasks there, very little coming up. All CYP. Choose your project, which I choose from the milestone key results, going back to this page, all of which, as I've explained, hitting one result here, this benefits every other result. I'm not going to go into explaining why at this point, but that's cheekily why I've given it that quantum name, because quantum theory in well, let's think about the right quantum theory. I've switched subject here, so I'm a bit on the spot. And of course, it's the quantum entanglement, where one little key result can become the entire universe or galaxy, albeit one can't break the speed of light. It certainly is going to be an interesting quarter working in this way. And with that said, just under half an hour, I'm going to say goodbye, and thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye.